Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to another Bolt Action version 3 battle report, where today we'll be heading to the Soviet Union, Russia, where the Germans will be invading the Russian territory, and we will be fighting for control of this little village up on this hill. Victory points will be determined by each unit that is in the village at the end of turn 6 will be worth 1 victory point, while each vehicle will be worth 2 victory points. And whoever has the most victory points in the village is the victor. So there may be a lot of action in the village and not so much out here, but it opens up the possibility for flanking maneuvers. So we'll see how it goes. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the forces. And here we have 1,100 points of the invading Germans. We will start off with the rifle platoon. We have our officer with 3 extra men, all rifles. And then 2 10-man here grenadier squads with SMG sergeant, light machine gun, and Panzerfaust. This one has 2 Panzerfausts, while this one has 1. They are regular. And then we have a 10-man Fallschirmjäger squad with light machine gun, 2 light machine guns, SMG sergeant, and 2 Panzerfausts. And then they are veterans, and that makes up the rifle platoon. Next up we have an armored platoon. We have our Panzer II with the light autocannon. He is our commanding officer today. And then he is accompanied with 2 Panzer III Js with the rear armor with medium anti-tank guns. And that makes up 1,100 points of Germans onto the Soviet Union. And here we have 1,100 points of Soviet Union. They've gotten word of the Germans pushing through the territory, looking to claim the village. So they've cobbled together everything they could, armor-wise, to put a stop to the force. So that is why we have this amalgamation of different vehicles. But before we get to that, our rifle platoon, we have our officer with 2 extra men, all SMGs. And then we have 2 light machine gun squads with 10 men, SMG sergeant, light machine gun. And then there's the other squad, same loadout. They have anti-tank grenades. And then we have our veteran squad. It is 10 man. There's only 9 guys there. I'll have to put another one in. But 10 man, SMG sergeant, light machine gun, and 2 Panzerfausts. One is right there, and then that guy with the Molotov cocktail is the other Panzerfaust for this game. And they are veterans. And then lastly, we have 2 anti-tank rifle teams for the rifle platoon. And then moving on to our armored platoon, we have our commander, which will be rolling in the T-70 with a light anti-tank gun. And then we have the T-28 medium tank. We have replaced the howitzer with a light anti-tank gun as well. And it comes equipped with all of its machine guns. 2 turret, left and right arc medium machine guns, coaxial medium machine gun, and a rear-facing medium machine gun. Next up we have the BA-10 with light anti-tank gun and coaxial and turret-mounted light machine guns. And lastly, we have the ZIS 30, I believe it is, the anti-tank tractor with a medium anti-tank gun and a forward-facing light machine gun. And so that makes up 1,100 points of Soviet unit. So with that, let's begin the battle. Alrighty, so before we begin, the Soviets will be on that board edge, while the Germans will be on this side. I will be playing the Germans today, while my girlfriend, Luna, will be on that board edge. We've decided to give her a name for the channel, since she keeps getting confused for a child. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and begin with the first die, which is Soviets. Alrighty, we have deployed our first wave for the first round. For the Germans, we just had 3 units. We had my Grenadiers approaching the village, Fallschirmjägers over here in the tree line on the edge, and then my Panzer III, which we'll be shooting. And then for the Soviets, we have an infantry squad approaching the village with the BA-10, anti-tank rifle team on the village edge as well, and then officer unit and another light rifle squad, or a light machine gun squad, making it to the edge of the farms. So before we continue on, all the buildings will be light cover, except for, and then the stone walls will be hard cover. Forest over here, light cover, and the farm fields over there, light cover as well. So these old village buildings will just be providing light cover. So with that, we continue on. My die was the last one, my Panzer III, which advanced forward and is going to pour fire into that rifle squad over there, for the light machine gun squad. We're going to be shooting the turret-mounted medium machine gun and coaxial. So this will be 8 shots, hitting on 5s. Alright, 5 hits. 4 to take a man out. For 3, and then that is 3 5-up cover saves. Making 2, so just 1 casualty and a pin. And with that, we go to round 2. And the first die of round 2 is Germans. Perfect. Alright, we're gonna keep up the fire on that light machine gun squad with the Panzer. So another 8 shots going in with the medium machine guns. Alright, 8 shots hitting on 4s this time, since we're not moving. And just 4 hits. 4 to take a man out. For 2. 2 5-up cover saves. No, 2 more casualties and another pin for the rifle squad. Alright, next die was Soviets. So Luda's going to attempt to activate that infantry squad that's taken a pounding and trying to advance towards the hardcover rocks over here in the middle of the field. So, order test. 3, that'll do it. With that, they will advance forward. Alrighty, continuing on, next 2 die were Soviet as well. So she just advanced her officer up next to the light machine gun squad. And then for the next die, she advanced her other light machine gun squad up into the village edge, getting her first unit in the village. So that would go to the next die, which is Soviets again. Alright. Alrighty, for the Soviets, she decided to bring in a veteran squad on the right flank into the farm field in a surprising move. And then next die was Soviets as well, at which point she just advanced her BA-10 into the village for a better firing position. She was going to try and do some shooting into these guys, but unfortunately they are hiding behind the hill. So, with that we continue on to the next die, which is Germans, finally. Alright, we are going to attempt to bring in the Panzer III. And that'll do it. Alright, Panzer III rolls up the road and catches sight of a BA-10. So we'll take a shot of that and then shoot some infantry with the medium machine gun. So this will be a 5 to hit with the anti-tank gun. No, that misses, unfortunately. And then 4 shots with the medium machine gun, also hitting on 5s. And we got 2 hits. 4s take a man out for 1. And that'll be 1 4-up cover save for the hard cover.
Alright.
Got it. Alright, just the pin on the rifleman. And then we go to the next die. Which is Germans again. Alright. Next up for the Germans, I advanced the Fallschirmjäger squad forward into the forest and gonna pour some more fire into this squad here. So just my light machine guns are in range. 2 of them, so that's 10 shots hitting on 5s. For just 2 hits. 4s take man out. Nothing, just a pin on that squad, bringing them to 2 pins. And then we move on to the next die, which is Soviets. Alright, for the Soviets, she decided to bring out the T-28, and instead of advancing forward, she ran forward into the village to try and hide from the line of sight of my panzers. But unfortunately for her, the T-28 is a big tank, and I can see the back end of the T-28. So maybe I'll take a shot at it next round. Next die. Next die is Germans. Alrighty, continuing on, I brought in my officer, which ran forward next to the infantry squad. And then the Soviets got the next die. She went ahead and put the anti-tank rifle team on ambush. And then Germans got the next die, at which point I brought in my Panzer II, which has begun to roll forward, and she's gonna fire off her ambush from the rifle squad, or rifle team. So this will be a 4 to hit. Ooh, and it just misses, unfortunately. Alright, and then my Panzer will continue forward and firing the light autocannons into that light machine gun squad. Continuing on, the Panzer moves forward and is going to fire the light autocannon into that rifle squad. So 2 shots hitting on 5s. And that's 1. Alright. And then, what is that? That is an HE1. So, just, let me double check the rules. Alright, HE 1-inch hitting these 2 guys right here. And then +1 penetration, so I'll be taking them out on 3s. And that's 2. And then 2 4-up cover saves for heavy cover. Oh, making them both. Alright, and then that is just 1 pin. Lucky you. Moving on. Continue on with the Germans. My infantry squad over here advanced forward and is going to fire into the light anti-tank, or no, light machine gun squad here. So I can only see 4 targets. So this will be 6 rifles and the light machine gun for 5, hitting on 5 as well. Oh wow! Look at that, just 1. It's unfortunate. And then a 4 to take a man out. Got it. And that'll be a 4-up cover save. Made it. Alright, just a pin. And then moving on to the next die. Alrighty, moving on. Soviets attempted to bring in the T-70, which she failed to do, rolling too high on a morale test. And then for the last unit for the Germans, I brought in my Grenadier squad, which ran forward towards the village. And then that just left 2 of the Soviets units, which she decided to leave in reserve. So with that, we go to round 3. And the first die is Soviets. Alright. Let's see what she decides to do. Alright, for the Soviets, she decided to advance the T-28, which made a turn and came up alongside the church and is going to pour machine gun fire into my Fallschirmjägers and take a shot at the Panzer with the light anti-tank gun. So this will be a 5 to hit with the anti-tank gun. And that misses, unfortunately. And then we got 6 shots with the medium machine guns, hitting on 5s as well. And got 2 hits. 5s to take a man out. For 1. And then that is 1 5-up cover save, which I make. So just a pin on the Fallschirmjägers. Next die. Next die is Germans. Alrighty, and we're just gonna return fire with the Panzer III. Not moving. Just gonna rotate, turn here, and take a shot. Hitting on 3s. And that hits. And then this is +5 penetration. And that is an 8. That is superficial damage on the T-28. For a 1. I'm pretty sure that's just a crew stunned. So just an extra pin on them. And then we will move on to the next die. Okay, next die is Soviets, which point she activated the B-810, which just backed up a little bit to get out of range of my Panzer, and is going to fire the light machine guns into my Grenadier squad. Before that, I actually gave the T-28 reinforced armor, which makes it a slow vehicle. So technically she wouldn't have been able to activate that one first. But nothing but a pin was made, so we'll just remember that for the rest of the game. So continue on. 4 shots with the 2 light machine guns into my Grenadier squad, hitting on 5s. For nothing. No hits. Alright, next die. Next die is Germans. Next up, Germans activating the Panzer III, which pushed forward into the village. And since it no longer sees the BA-10, it's going to fire into that infantry squad right there. So this will be both medium machine guns hitting on 5s for just 2 hits. 4 stick man out for 1. And then that'll be a 4-up cover save for the hard cover. Made it. Alright, just a pin, bringing them to 3 pins. And then we go to the next die, which is Germans again. Alright, for the Germans, I took my Grenadier squad and ran them into the village. next to the church. And then next die was Soviets, which she activated her officer doing the snap orders on these two squads here. The veteran squad advanced forward, and then this squad is going to rally. So order test for that. Get in at 8, that passes. They will rally. And then the officer just kind of moved up a little bit. And then we move on to the next die.
I'm trying to shoot.
Oh, who's shooting? Oh, these guys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We should have done that first then. Alright. Veteran squad will shoot. Alright, just the light machine gun able to take some shots with the veteran squad. So let's see. 5 to hit. 4, 1. 4 to take, or 5 to take a man, no? Got it. Alright, and then that'll be a 5-up cover save. No. 1 casualty and a second pin on the Fallschlägers. Alright, next die. Next die is Soviets. Next up for the Soviets, she's going to activate her anti-tank rifle team, which is going to fire into my Panzer III. So this will be a 4 to hit. Ooh, and that misses. Next die. Next die is Soviets as well. Next 2 die was the Soviets. She rallied this infantry squad over here. And then she brought in her ZIS 30, which advanced into the wheat field. We're going to say she has soft cover for the wheat field, but not for the plowed field for the vehicle. So, advances into the wheat field and is going to fire in to my Panzer II. So, this would be a 5 to hit. No, that misses. And then you have 2 light machine gun shots you can fire.
Okay.
Into the Fallschlägers?
Yes.
Okay. 5 to hit. Nothing. Alright. Next die. Next die is Germans. And for the Germans, we're going to return fire with the Panzer II. Officers seeing the fire coming in from the ZIS 30. Going to take a shot with the light autocannon. So 2 shots hitting on 4s. And we got 1 hit. And then that is, let's see here. Yep, just +2 penetration on the 7+ tractor. And that is a 7. So that'll be superficial damage on a ZIS 30. And a 2 is steering compromise. Alright, so an extra pin on the ZIS 30. And then you can only make 1 90-degree turn, I believe. Alright, next die. Next die is Soviets. And for the Soviets, she brought in her T-70, which moved forward, advancing, and is going to take a shot through the village into my Panzer III. So this will be a 5 to hit. And a 3 will miss. And then next die. Next die is Germans, so I'm going to attempt to advance the Fallschlägers forward into the trees and suppress this infantry platoon over here. So order test. And double 1s will get it. So they will advance over in this direction and do some shooting. And that's where the Fallschlägers ended up, deeper into the forest. And we're going to fire into the light machine gun squad right there. So we got 10 light machine gun shots and 4 rifle shots, hitting on 6s. And we got 3 hits. And then 4s to take a man out. For 1. And that'll be 1 4-up cover save. No, so that is a casualty and a pin on that squad. And then we'll move on to the next die. Alright, for the Germans, I activated my Grenadier squad, which advanced forward deeper into the village and is going to fire into this light machine gun squad. So we have 3 rifles, and then actually I think I forgot to mention that my Grenadier squads had 2 assault rifles in them for both of them. So we have 4 assault rifles, and then 3 rifle shots, and 10 or 5 light machine gun shots. Not 10. Alright, and then so black dice will be the assault rifles hitting on 4s, everything else hitting on 5s. Alright. 4 hits. Taking a man out on 4s. For 3. And then that'll be 3 4-up cover saves. Failing 3. Alright, 3 casualties and a pin. And now move on to the next die. Alright, remaining 2 dice was Germans, my officer, which just moved up into the village, taking cover behind the wall. And then for the Soviets' last die, she brought in her other anti-tank rifle team. And so with that, we go to round 4. Alright, on to round 4, and the first die is Germans. So immediately activating the Panzer III, which is going to fire into that Zis 30 over there. Take it out. So this will be a 3 to hit. And that'll do it. Plus 5 penetration. And that is massive damage, or full damage. Actually, do we have mass damage anymore? I don't think so, but a 2. Alright. That'll be immobilized. Alright, massive damage is still a thing, so we will roll again. This time is a 4, and that is knocked out. So we have our first knocked out vehicle for the round. So this 30 goes up in flames. And then I'll proceed with the medium machine gun, firing into that rifle squad there. So we 4 shots, hitting on force. For 1. 4 to take a man out. No, just a pin on that rifle squad. Alright, moving on to the next die. Alright, next die was Germans as well. So, continuing with my luck, going to activate the other Panzer III, which is just going to fire in at that T-70 down there. So, another 3 to hit. And a 5 will do it. Plus 5 to hit, or penetration. That'll be an 8. That is full damage. Or, no, that is superficial damage. I believe it is an 8 plus tank. We'll double check after this. But a 3 will just be a turret jam. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Alright. And then, medium machine gun from the turret into that rifle squad over there. Hitting on 4s. 4s take them out for 1. And that'll be a 4-up cover save for that squad there. Making it just a pin. Alright, bringing them to 2 pins. Moving on to the next die. Alright, next up was the Soviet die. The T-70 is a plus 8 armored tank. So, this was next up for the Soviets. She activated the anti-tank rifle, which is going to be firing into my Panzer. So, this will be a 4 to hit. And a 1 will miss. Having no luck with those anti-tank rifles. Next die. Next die is Soviets as well. She's going to activate the T-28. Make an order test.
That is an 8, 9, 10. That is a fail. The T-28 will go down. That's unfortunate.
Next up, Soviets got another die, so she activated the veteran squad, which hopped over that rock wall there, moving forward, and is going to fire in to my Fallschirmjägers in the trees. So, some rifles and light machine gun shots hitting on 5s.
And I see just 3 hits. And then 5s take a man out. For 1. And then that'll be a 5-up cover save for the trees. No, another casualty and a pin for the Fallschirmjägers.
Next die. Soviets got the next die, so she passed her morale test for her light machine gun squad, which moved forward, advancing over the wall, and is going to continue firing into my Fallschirmjägers. So, bunch of shots hitting on 5s.
And just 1 this time.
2.
2. And then 5s. For 1.
Another 5-up cover save. No, another pin and a casualty, bringing me to 3 pins. Next die. Next die is Soviets again. Next up for the Soviets, she's going to activate this squad here, which is going to attempt to fire into my Grenadiers. So, order test.
Oh, that is a fail. They will go down instead. Next die.
Next die is Germans. And for the Germans, we're activating that Grenadier squad, which advanced in towards the middle of the village and is going to fire into this squad here. So we have black dice, which will be the assault weapons. Red dice will be hitting on 5s. Black dice hitting on 4s. That's actually pretty good. Not bad. 4s take a man out. And that is 6 on those. And then 4-up cover saves. Oh,
That was nice.
all but 1 casualty. Lucky you.
all right. 1 casualty and a pin, bringing you to 3. Next die. Next die is Soviets. Alrighty, next up for the Soviets, she's going to attempt to advance the T-70 to take a shot at my Panzer. So, order test. That is a 4, 5, 6 with the pins. That will pass, bringing you down to 1 pin and rotating to fire.
Alright, T-70 rotates to get the Panzer in its line of sight. Taking a shot, needing a 6. Oh, and she got it. Alright, that's a +4 penetration. That's a 4, 5, 6. Not enough to penetrate. Just the pin on the Panzer. Good shot, though. Next die. Next die is Soviets as well.
Next up for the Soviets, she activated the BA-10, which moved forward a little bit to get a better line of sight on the Grenadiers, and is going to fire at point blank range with the light anti-tank gun and the light machine gun. So HE shot with the anti-tank gun. This will be 3 to hit. Got it. Alright, that'll be 3 targets. Taking them out on, let's see, I believe it's 2s or no, +1 penetration. So 3s. for just one casualty. And then light machine guns, also hitting on 3s, just 2. Making them both, alright. And this will be 4s. 4, 1, alright. 2 casualties, and go ahead and roll a d6. And that's a 4. I believe that'll be 2 pins on that squad. Alright. Next die. Moving on, next die is Germans. So activating the Panzer II, which moved forward and is going to fire into that rifle squad with the light autocannon. So 2 shots hitting on 5s for 2 hits. And that'll probably hit all of them with the 1-inch template. We'll double check. Alright, 6 hits. This will be taking them out on 2s with a +2 penetration from the autocannon, which is all 6 of them. Alright, and then that is 6 5-up cover saves for the Soviets. Making 2. Alright, so that's 4 casualties, and then 2 pins, and then a morale test to see if they stick around. 4, 5, 6, 7 with the pins. That passes. 2 of them will stick around. Alright, moving on. Next up was the Soviets. She just moved her anti-tank rifle into the building here. And then next 2 die was for the Germans. I rallied the Fallschirmjägers over here in the trees. And then next I'm going to fire the officer squad into that infantry unit there. So 4 shots hitting on 4s with the rifles. For 2 hits. 4s take a man out. For 1. 1 4-up cover save. No. 1 casualty and a pin, bringing them to 4. And then next die is Soviets, which is just your officer over there. And the Soviet officer just moved forward up to the wall there. And then last, it was the Germans, which is just my grenadier squad here, which is going to be firing into that building, try to take out that rifle team. Bunch of shots hitting on 4s. Pretty good. And then 4s take a man out. For 3. And that is 3 5-up cover saves for soft cover. Making 2. So just 1 casualty. Alright. And then a morale test. Ooh, that is a fail with the pin. That's, oh wait, you get to re-roll again for the Soviets. Okay. And a 6 will keep them around. Alright. 1 casualty and a pin for the anti-tank rifle team. And with that, we go to round 5. And the first die of round 5 is Soviets. Alright. Alright, and for the Soviets, she's going to attempt to activate this squad here to shoot my grenadier. So, with 4 pins, she's going to need to roll low on that morale test. And that is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a fail. They will go down, unfortunately. Moving on. Next die. Next die is Germans. Alright, perfect. We're going to continue firing with one of the Panzers. Alrighty, activating this Panzer III, we're going to fire into the T-28 up on the hill. So, this will be a 3 to hit. Hits. +5 penetration. 5, 6, 7. That will bounce off with a 8 armor. So just a pin on the T-28. Moving on. Next die is Soviets. And for the Soviets, she's going to activate the rifle team, which is going to fire into my Panzer III in the village. Oh, that hill. That is a miss. Next die. Soviets again. Next up for the Soviets, activating the veteran squad, which is going to be firing into my Fallschirmjägers. 4's the hit.
Come on, come on.
Not too bad. I see 5 hits.
You said 4 is the hit, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then 5's take a man out. 4, 3. And that'll be 3 5-up cover saves. Making 1, failing 2, and a pin. Alright, moving on. Alright, next die was Soviets, at which point she rallied the T-28. And then the German die activated the Panzer II, which moved forward and is going to fire into that T-28 with the automatic cannon at point blank range. So this will be 3's to hit. Both hitting, and then needing 6's to penetrate. Got 2, so that's 2 superficial penetration on the T-28. So, and we got double 4's, which is engine damage. All right, I'm gonna need to see if that does anything significant with 2 of them. Alright, 2 engine damage results result in a immobilized result for the T-28, so it is now immobilized. And then next die is Soviets, at which point she's going to activate the B-10, and she's going to fire both light machine guns into my Grenadiers. So, this will be 4 shots hitting on 2s with point blank. 4 2 hits. 4's take a man out. Nothing. Just a pin. That's unfortunate. Bringing them to 3 pins. Next die.
And next die is Germans. Alright. Alright, next up for the Germans, we're going to attempt to run the Panzer III. Order test. That is an 8. 9 with the pin. That will pass. It will run up into the village. Alright, and that's where the Panzer ended up, blocking the BA-10 from shooting my infantry and possibly getting a point-blank shot next round. Next die was Soviets. She's going to attempt to activate the T-70. And a 4 with the 5 with the pin will pass, and it will activate. Alright, T-70 rolls up into the village and is going to fire into my Grenadiers with the medium machine gun. Both of those hit, maybe. I forgot to check. See if you're within 6 inches. I don't think you are. No. So that'll be just 1 hit. And then 4 to take a man out. No, just a pin. Bringing them to 4 pins. Next die. Next die is Soviets as well. Next up for the Germans, activating my Grenadier squad, which advance forward. And I'm going to fire the 2 Panzerfausts in that squad into the T-70. Which will be hitting on 5s, and then everything else will be firing into the building, trying to take that lone man out. So, starting with the Panzerfaust, hitting on 5s. Oh, and they both miss, unfortunately. Alright, and then into the lone rifleman. So, black dice will be hitting on 4s, everything else 5s. For just 3 hits.
horrendous roll for me. All right, and then 4s take them out. 4, 2. That'll be 2 5-up cover saves. Making 1 and failing 1. Not enough to save him. He is gone. Another unit down for the Soviets. Next die. Next die is Germans. Next up, Germans, activating my officer squad here, which is going to fire into this infantry unit here. So 4 shots, hitting on 4s for 3 hits. 4s take a man out for just 1, and that's a 4-up cover save. No, failed. That'll be another casualty and a pin, bringing them to 5 pins. All right. Next die. Next die is Germans as well. That is just my Fallschirmjäger unit. They are going to just fire into this squad here. Take them out, hopefully. All right, order test with Fallschirmjägers. That's a 9-10 with the pin. That'll pass. And that'll give them 10 shots into that squad there. Hitting on 4s. And then 4s to take a man out. For 4 of them. That'll be 4 5-up cover saves for the wheat field. 1, 2 casualties. That'll take them out. Alright, they are gone. And then with that, it is just the Soviet officer which went down. And we now go to round 6. Alrighty, first die of round 6 is Soviets. Oh, alright. Choose wisely. Alright, so for the Soviets, she activated her veteran squad, which advanced forward in this direction, hoping to get in range of the tank with the Panzerfaust. Unfortunately, that was not possible. And then everything else was shooting at the Fallschirmjägers in the trees. So let's see, 5 to hit. Let me see, 3, 4. Alright. 5s take a man out. 4, 2. And that'll be 2 5-up cover saves. No, 2 casualties. We will take out one of the light rifle or the light machine guns, and then a pin. Next die. Next die is Germans. Alright, for the Germans, we're starting with the Panzer III, which is going to take a point-blank shot into the BA-10. So this will be a 2 to hit. And that hits. Plus 5 penetration. For a 10. That is massive damage with a 7 armored vehicle. So first one is stunned and destroyed. Alright, BA-10 goes down in flames. And then we got the turret shots into this infantry unit here. Also point blank range. 2s, everything hits. 4s take a man out. For 1. 1 4-up cover save. Made it. Alright, just a pin, bringing them to 6 pins. Not looking good for them. Alright, next die. Next die is Soviets. Alright, and for the Soviets, she's going to activate the T-28, which is going to attempt to fire into my Panzer III, or 2. So order test. There's a 4, 5, 6 with a pin, passes. Brings it down to 1 pin, so this will be a 3, 4, down to a 2. And that just hits. And this will be a plus 5 penetration with a side shot. 4, 5, so that's 9. That is full damage.
Ooh, all right.
And that panzer goes down in a bout of flame, destroying it. Next die. Alright, next up for the Soviets, she activated the T-70, which moved forward into the village and rolled up behind the Panzer III to take a rear shot. So this will be a 3 to hit with point blank range. And that hits. Alright, and that'll be a +5 penetration because I do have rear armor. And a 5, 6, 7 does not do it. Just a pin on the Panzer. Next die. And the next die is Germans. Next for the Germans, we're just going to activate this Grenadier unit here. They're not going to move. They're going to fire the lone Panzerfaust into that T-70 and try and take it out. So this will be a 2 to hit with point blank range. That hits, and this is +6 penetration with the Panzerfaust. And that is a 9, which is full damage on the T-70. Oh, and a 3 is on fire, I think. Yep, it's on fire, so 2 pins and an order test to see if it sticks around. Oh, that's a 9, 10, 11 with the pins. That T-70 goes up in flames, taking it out. And there goes 2 more points for the Soviets for the village. Moving on, next die. Alrighty, next die was Soviets. She just rallied this infantry unit over here. And then Germans got the next die, so I activated the Grenadiers, which made an assault on the anti-tank rifles. So before that happens, she's going to fire in at me with her rifles. So 2 shots, hitting on 4s for 2, and then 4s take a man out for 1. Alright, that'll be 1 casualty, and then we'll roll some dice. She is in a defensible position, so she will be rolling first. Alright, 2 dice for the anti-tank rifles, needing 4s to take a man out.
Okay.
Ooh, getting 2. Alright, and then that leaves me with 7 dice remaining. So my black dice are the assault weapons, so they will get to roll again if they fail. So I need 4s, just needing 2 to win this. Oh my goodness. Okay. So nothing from the red. Black dice are the assault weapons, so they get to roll again. And there it is. That takes out the anti-tank rifle team.
They put up a good fight.
Yes, they did. Alright, moving on. Alrighty, moving forward. Soviets just had the officer left. He just moved forward. And then it was all German dice. Fallschlägers went down. I ran the Panzer III into the village. And then went down with the officer squad over here. And that brings us to the end of round 6. For a total of 1 victory point, 2 victory points, 3 victory points for the infantry, and then 2 vehicles for a total of 4 victory points, bringing us to 7 total victory points, and a total of 1, 2, 3 for the Soviets, for a 7 German victory, 7-point victory for the Germans. Even if we went to round 7, these guys wouldn't have been able to make a difference, not being able to get into the village in time. So with that, we have a German victory. Thanks for watching, guys.